TPE 2023 at the Cigarmedics with Giovanni.
How you doing?
How you doing, sir? By the way, that's a phenomenal name.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the background on Cigarmedics.
So we started with my cousin Lou, who's got a mechanical engineer background.
And Lou is the guy who said you got to do the interview, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This gentleman right here, who's got an absolutely phenomenal jacket, by the way.
He, hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lou, come over here.
I'm sorry, I'll be right there.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
No,
did I do the wrong guy?
No.
No,
He's
it's Lou.
asking for a knife. Right
Oh.
as he starts asking me questions.
Wait. No.
There we go.
Wow.
There we go.
That's a knife.
There we go.
That's a knife.
Well, thank you.
No, I was just introducing you.
Oh, okay, so I don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to be here.
Yeah, you don't need to be here. Go back home.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I love these guys.
So Lou's been smoking cigars for over 30 years, and he's always come across, doesn't know if the cigar is dry or too moist, so we started doing some research on the topic and couldn't find any devices like that. So we ended up patenting the Cigarmedics humidimeter.
It's like a humidistat, but that you can carry around, right?
So this is basically our pro version. This is our newer model. And what it does is it'll read the moisture content inside your cigar, and
The actual cigar.
The actual cigar. I'll show you in a second.
Yeah.
And it converts it to display a relative humidity. So the number on the meter will match the number on your humidor. So basically, this version is a metallized shell. It has a USB charge and retractable probes. So let me grab a cigar here. Cigar interference.
Yeah, well, listen, it should be available on the website. The problem is, trying to figure out.
While you're showcasing this, I'll show Tom that knife that we used to open that box.
Right? Cigar code that was right here.
I'll keep it on my side. We didn't know if that was going to hurt us.
And so, Luigi, what do you think of this knife? This is the Spyderco. It's what we use to access your box over there.
Oh, nice jimping on it. You know what jimping is?
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, very nice knife.
Beautiful. You can use it as a cigar cutter too, right?
I did earlier on this, as a matter of fact.
Oh, nice job. Beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll give it back to you, I'm sure.
Yeah. Go ahead, Giovanni.
So basically, bring out the probes, turn your meter on, and you can either go in through the foot or the cap. And basically what it's going to do is read the moisture content in the cigar and then convert it to relative humidity. So this cigar is reading at 68 at the foot. And if you go at the cap, it should be similar. Usually the cap is a little bit more because it's
Encased,
it's
enclosed.
closed,
Yeah.
and it traps. Did I do that right? In this instance, it's right around the same.
Yeah.
So this cigar is perfectly ready to smoke.
And it's nice, you can test it while it's still in the wrapper.
Yes.
Or it's still in the cellophane.
Some people don't like doing that, but it doesn't really damage it. And we recommend anywhere from 60 to 70 is okay to smoke.
Yeah.
It's good to organize your humidors.
You could test a sample random testing of the cigars
Different
in the
shelf
humidor.
levels.
Yeah.
The top shelf is a little bit more humidified than the bottom. You rotate your cigars.
Exactly. That's very cool. What is retail price point on this?
So we sell this online for $49.99.
Okay.
Yeah.
And typical, do you know what typical longevity is on the battery? Charging it multiple times, etc. About how long would it typically last with?
So I've used one for a couple of months now, and I still haven't had to recharge it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know exactly how long it will last. But it has an automatic turn off after 10 or 15 seconds, which helps save the battery life.
Right. Now, would you? I'm going to come up with some dumbass questions
Oh,
here,
it's
Giovanni.
fine. Go ahead.
But so
hopefully I have the answers.
So the battery goes bad? You know, the juice of the longevity of the battery is down. I imagine it's probably a lithium ion or you know, high-end type, probably a button battery, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. Now, would you be able to change the battery if the battery does go bad? Can you open up the battery compartment and put a new battery in it?
No, if that happens within the first 2 years, we'll replace the unit.
Really?
Yeah, because basically this battery should last the longevity of the life of the meter.
The device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it goes down, it's I think a mini USB.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Mini USB port.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is pretty standard if anybody has any type of electronic.
Very much so, yeah.
Good, how you doing?
Okay.
And also, forgot to mention that we brought the probes a little bit closer, so it's easier for Lancero.
Yeah, because
smaller ring gauge.
Yeah, the smaller ring gauges would be a challenge of something a little wider. Very good. Anything else you'd like to talk about, or is this
Well,
really
we can talk about our new baller cutter.
Okay.
And it's called a baller because it's kind of like a melon baller. It'll scoop out from the cap without sacrificing the shoulder of the cigar. And this cigar has obviously been smoked, but I used that cut.
That's interesting. So it's not a V cut.
It's like a hybrid between a punch and a V cut.
Yeah.
Sometimes the V cut will go a little too deep and the shoulders start to unravel. So basically, if you want to take a look at that, it has a stainless steel ball bearing in there that lube cuts in the shop. And what you want to do is, you know, hold the cigar firmly in there, give it a snap.
Yeah, you want to go quick, just like a guillotine cut. Well, it's a guillotine cutter, so yeah, it's a hybrid guillotine cutter. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. One of a kind.
What do you think retail would be like on that?
So we sell this online on our website for $125.
$125.
No, I haven't.
Okay, very good. Where are you folks out of?
We're out of Chicago suburbs.
Okay. And favorite adult beverage, Giovanni?
I'm a whiskey guy, so I'll do probably little makers on the rocks.
Okay.
And yourself?
You know what? Just about whatever tastes good. It's like cigars. I don't have a favorite cigar. Yeah, I like Maduros usually, but you know, I like Scotch. I like bourbons. Matter of fact, you may see a thing called Monkey Shoulder a little bit later. It's a Scotch. Yeah, pretty good. You know. Yeah.
I haven't graduated into the Scotch range yet.
Yeah.
I'm still in the whiskey range.
Yeah, well, Scotch is a whiskey, keep in mind. You know, it's just Scotch whiskey. Like bourbon is a whiskey, bourbon whiskey. I really haven't gotten into the...
Different tastes.
Yeah, they taste just a little bit different, and the way they're made, I think, is a little bit of a variance. I've not really gotten into the... I can't think of what I'm at a vapor lock here, brother. It's the Mexican it's not whiskey.
Tequila.
It's tequilas.
Yeah.
I've not really gotten into the tequilas too much, but you know, they're coming up with some phenomenal tequilas now. And a lot of people, you know, traditionally they want to shoot it, but I don't really like shooting anything anymore. I mean, I gave that up a long time ago. So they've got some phenomenal tequilas that are sipping tequilas, and they're blended that way. They're you know, made that way, and it's kind of a thing that's coming into its own, I think.
Another thing, since we've been having so much success with our Humidimeter Pro, we created a very similar version for cannabis.
Okay.
It's got a different calibration because fermented tobacco versus cannabis holds moisture differently.
Right.
So it's identical except for the color and the way it reads, cannabis versus tobacco.
It's specifically designed for cannabis.
Specifically.
Yeah. And you know, that's really coming into its own as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And the more it's becoming legalized, the more people realize that different levels of humidity for cannabis have, you know, if it's too dry, you lose a little bit of the aromas or the taste and flavor.
Yeah.
So I think cannabis is generally 55 to 62 range.
I don't know. I don't really imbibe myself, but some of the guys do, and you know.
58, you know, that's what our friends at Boveda told us with their packs, because they have specific
Well, and that's
packs.
the thing is Boveda and there's a couple of other of those humidity companies are coming out with. Originally, they were trying to market their humidity packaging or packages across the board, but I've heard, and I've just heard that they're making a different version for the cannabis customers versus the tobacco customers.
So I've seen for cigars, their ranges are, you know,
right around 70 is what you want.
70, 69 pack. There's a 72 pack.
Yeah.
And then they have a 58, I believe, for cannabis.
Okay, very good. Well, Giovanni, it's been an absolute pleasure,
Hey,
brother.
thanks for your time.
Thank you for your
Appreciate
time, and take good care. Travel home safe.
We'll
Okay.
have a whiskey later.
Well, we'll be talking tomorrow or the next day. Okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to come in here and talk to Luigi because Luigi. Hey, Luigi. How you doing, man?
Nice to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, brother. Volume a little bit. So listen, sorry to ambush you there, but
I'm not terribly busy right now. We got a nice little break in the action.
yeah, I know. And you got all the guys who are just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a huge line earlier.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, what do you mean? Be sorry about it?
Yeah, our table's a mess because we had demonstrations all day.
Well, and you're making sales left and right, so that's the key.
Right.
So listen, this ball cutter, and I mean ball cutter like as in like not cutting my balls or your balls, but the ball cutter has me just inspired in a way with a whole different design to cut your cigar. Because I personally like V-cut. You know, but some guys like punch, some guys like traditional guillotine. I like traditional guillotine. But this, you know, from talking to Giovanni, this is just jumping it's jumping a few extra hurdles in my mind. So I'm just curious, what the hell inspired you with this?
Well, I'm a 30-year smoker myself, and I always go between cutters, you know, punch cutters, straight cutters, V cutters. I do like the effect of the V cutter. The problem I've always had with a V cutter, it cuts too deep on the shoulder, so sometimes it wants to split. So it kind of
fold in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what it's prompted me to do is to come up with an idea where I came up with a cutter that actually would give you the effect of a V cutter with the surface area, and it would be a controlled diameter cut like a punch.
And uniform instead of, because a V-cut, as cool as it is, it's not really uniform.
Right, exactly. So through 2 years of development work, came up with really the guts of this whole unit.
Now wait a minute, what are you, a magician here? You're pulling this out, that out?
It's the ball that goes in there. Each one of these.
Yeah, I'm breaking your balls a little bit.
I know.
I'm breaking your balls.
I get it. It's called the baller. I expected it.
Yeah.
Every one of these balls takes 23 minutes to cut in a CNC wire EDM machine. It's all stainless steel. This is one of the few cutters. Sure. This is one of the few cutters entirely made in the USA. Not too many cutters are made here in the States anymore.
Right.
These parts are made by a little company in Pennsylvania. We assemble them here. My little nephew here puts them together. Geppetto.
So he assembles. Geppetto, you assemble?
I do assemble.
Okay, there you go. So it's all in-house, all family.
It's all family.
Yeah,
yes.
So this the cuts on this, what started off as basically a ball bearing, right?
It's a ball bearing. It's actually a ball bearing that we cut the profile.
I mean, it's just not just a couple of cuts. Hey, okay, you got a sharp end, and frankly, this is pretty darn sharp.
So the cut resembles. I don't have it because it's kind of much. But it kind of resembles a melon ball type of cut. And another unique feature about this cutter, it's the only cutter that I know that you can actually go back in and cut the hole a little bigger, because the size of the hole that you get is represented by the size that you see there, which is about 12 millimeters.
Yeah.
But if you make a cut and you see your draw still a little bit tight, you can actually go back in and take crescent shaped little sections out and make
additional.
Right. So it's one of the few cutters that you can actually do that. And something else you didn't know, for our many retailer friends, which I'm going to get little sales, it's one of the only cutters on the market that you can actually sharpen the blade. You didn't see this.
So you've got a sharpener.
I have a sharpening tool. It's not available to consumers. We only make these for our retail partners.
Right. So that the customer can bring it in to get it sharpened.
That's exactly.
It brings them into the shop.
Exactly.
Maybe they'll pick up a few more cigars.
That's
maybe a lighter, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. A humidification test device, whatever. Yeah. That is amazing. Here, let me give this back because I'll end up walking away with that damn thing.
That's all when I have it.
And I'll put it in my pocket and it'll end up shading my pocket.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, that'd be bad. That's very cool. That is phenomenal. That is, yeah.
Yeah, it's all it's aluminum body construction, stainless steel ball. It's all nickel plated. The face plate, the bolster, all nickel plated steel.
Yeah.
So it's made to last. We offer a 2-year warranty, manufacturer's warranty on all these products.
Yeah.
We hope people like them. Like I said, I really was hell-bent on making this a United States-made product because it seems to be too many of our products are made in China.
So there's no offshore aspect of this.
To this ball, no.
Yeah.
The ball comes from Germany, but we do cut it here. So we put all the value in it here.
Yeah.
But all the other parts are all USA made. The anodizing, the plating, everything's made here.
And that's interesting. The ball bearings are coming in from Germany. I mean, I'm sure you know the history. Like a long time ago in the 30s, we were actually providing ball bearings to Germany through like Ford Motor Company or whatever,
Sure.
through Brazil, whatever. There was this whole circuitous thing that was going on.
Things
you know,
change, we evolve. You know,
yeah,
so.
exactly. Very good. Outstanding, Luigi. Is there anything else about this that you'd like to talk about? I mean, we've got the design principle, what your original core interest was,
Right.
how you came about, took 2 years, to come up with this,
Yes.
and moving forward. Are these available now?
They are available on our website
Uh-huh.
and at select retailers across the country right now.
Right.
This is a brand new product for us. We launched it at BCA 2022.
Okay.
So we've only been doing it for maybe 6 months or so.
Right.
So people are starting to see it. We were we had a great audience at BCA. People were coming to our booth, hearing about this cutter, and I had to stand for 8 hours straight. So at my age, it's a little bit difficult to do that, but it was great to see the reception.
But you pushed on and moved forward through the whole thing. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Out of curiosity, what's your background as far as engineering,
I'm
etc.?
an engineer.
Yeah.
I'm a trade mechanical engineer.
Yeah.
And I own a tool and die shop. So I have the wherewithal to do prototyping on all these products.
Right.
So I don't have to go through and have people do products for me. I can actually do that ball that you looked at. That's revision K from where I started. So
Really?
if you think I started at the beginning of the alphabet and I'm at revision K, that's how obsessive I am about making sure things are perfect. Like the cutting edge of the actual ball itself, the well design, you know, just the body, the mechanics, everything. So, you know.
Interesting. Now, did you start off as an, quote, I hate the term, but old school mechanical engineer? I mean, can you build up from, you know, the old concept of lathes and drill press and what have you?
That's what we have.
Yeah. So your prototypes, you weren't working on those on CNC. You were prototyping those on old school machine.
Yeah, we didn't have the belt drive equipment because we've evolved from there.
Yeah, you didn't have the squirrel driven versions, right?
We didn't have the cages. No, we've evolved since then. But it's been a really magnificent, feather in my cap, and I really appreciate the reception. People really appreciate. You know, you always get haters and purists and guys who still cut cigars with their fingernails and bite them off.
Yeah.
But it's a different thing. It's a different technology, and it encompasses all the aspects of other cutters that I threw into this product. So.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. And again, it takes quite a bit to really get my attention, to get my attention, snapped.
I appreciate
it. Yeah, so this is very, very, congratulations, and rewarding for you too. Not just, the financial reward, but also the fact that people appreciate something you came up with.
I'm old school. I don't do things for the money. I do think old school. My parents both came from old world Europe. My dad always told me, do things right, you do them good, the money will come later.
Yeah.
So you don't get driven by it. You put your pride and your effort in doing something right. Eventually you'll get the accolades and the money. But if you're not driven by that, you'll always succeed. So,
what part of Italy is your family from?
the central part.
Central? Okay, yeah. And again, you got the family involved in the business. I mean, the family is, there's Giovanni again. Yeah, crazy guy. And you too. So yeah, I think that's actually, I don't know what to call it. Uncle Nick would have said beautiful. That's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Could mean about 1,000 different things the way it's said.
You're right.
Yeah.
In our situation, it is beautiful.
It's
we bust each
absolutely
other's chops a lot because we are family, but it's all in good fun. So.
Yeah, very good. Well, safe travels home.
Thank you.
Enjoy your show, and thank you very much for that insight.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, take good care.
You too.